Hey kids! You've just landed on the island of Kidstopia! Welcome back! Are you ready for some spooky fun? Today, we're going to explore some cool and creepy urban legends from around the world. We'll be traveling from the United States to Mexico, then all the way to Germany, learning about mysterious creatures and spooky stories. We'll even hear about some magical beings. Get ready for a spine-tingling adventure, and don't forget to bring your flashlights. Our first stop is in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. This small town is famous for a very spooky reason. Have you guys heard of the Mothman? It's a creature that has fascinated and terrified people for decades. People say it's super tall and has big, scary wings like a moth. Imagine seeing something like that in the dark, but guess what? Its eyes glow bright red. Can you imagine that? Those glowing eyes are said to pierce through the night. Some people say the Mothman can predict bad things that are going to happen, like storms or accidents. It's almost like a warning sign. That's why some people get scared when they think they see it. They believe it's a bad omen. There are so many stories about people seeing the Mothman near an old place called the TNT area. This place adds to the mystery. It used to be a factory, but now it's all abandoned and creepy. The perfect setting for a spooky tale. One time, two couples said they saw a big, shadowy figure with red eyes by the factory. They were terrified. They said it flew up into the sky and followed their car. Can you imagine seeing something like that? How scary that would be. It's like something out of a horror movie. A lot of people think the Mothman is just a legend, but some people believe it's real. The debate continues. What do you guys think? Is it just a story? Or could there be some truth to it? Maybe one day someone will get a good photo of the Mothman. Wouldn't that be so cool? Now let's move on to our next spooky urban legend. There's always another mystery waiting to be explored. Let's hop over to Latin America. This is where stories of the Chupacabra come from. It's a region rich in culture, history, and of course, legends. The name sounds funny, but it's a pretty spooky creature. Imagine hearing about it for the first time as a kid. The Chupacabra is known for attacking animals, especially farm animals like goats and sheep. Farmers are always on the lookout. And guess what it does? It drinks their blood. This has caused a lot of fear and mystery around farms. That's why people call it the Chupacabra, which means goat sucker in Spanish. The name itself sends shivers down your spine. People have different ideas about what the Chupacabra looks like. Some sketches are downright terrifying. Some say it walks on two legs and has sharp claws and spines on its back, kind of like a dinosaur. Others say it's more like a wild dog, but with really scary red eyes and sharp teeth. Either way, it's not something you'd want to meet. No matter what it looks like, it sounds pretty scary, right? The mystery adds to the fear and excitement. There are lots of stories about farmers finding their animals drained of blood, and they blame it on the Chupacabra. These tales have been passed down for generations. Some people even say they've seen strange footprints that could belong to the creature. These tracks add to the enigma. We might not know for sure what the Chupacabra is, but it's a really interesting legend. It keeps people talking and wondering. Maybe one day someone will solve the mystery of the Chupacabra. Until then, it remains one of the most fascinating tales. For now, let's travel to a different continent and learn about another legendary creature. Who knows what other mysteries await us? We're going on an adventure to the forests of North America to look for Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch. Bigfoot is a really tall and hairy creature that people say lives in the woods. Imagine a giant, furry, human-like creature walking around the forest. People who believe in Bigfoot say it's really good at hiding, which is why we don't hear about sightings very often. They think it might be shy and doesn't want to be found. There have been lots of reported sightings of Bigfoot over the years, and some people even say they've seen giant footprints that could only belong to a creature like Bigfoot. Some people have even tried to record videos of Bigfoot, but it's hard to say if they're real or not. What do you think? Do you think Bigfoot is real, or is it just a fun story? Maybe one day we'll find out for sure. Now let's move on to a creature that's a little scarier, but only during a full moon. Howling at the moon. Have you ever heard a wolf howling at the moon? Some people believe those howls could be from werewolves. A werewolf is a person who turns into a scary wolf-like creature but only when there's a full moon in the sky. Can you imagine turning into a werewolf? People say that werewolves are really strong and fast, and they have sharp teeth and claws. They're also supposed to be really hairy and scary looking. There are stories about werewolves all over the world, and people have been telling them for hundreds of years. Some stories say that if a werewolf bites you, you might turn into a werewolf too. That would be pretty spooky, wouldn't it? It's fun to imagine what it would be like to be a werewolf, but I'm glad we're just talking about them not turning into one. Now let's sneak over to the next chapter and learn about some creatures that don't like sunlight. Creatures of the night. The next creature we're going to learn about are vampires. They're different from werewolves because they don't like to come out during the day. Vampires are said to be afraid of sunlight, so they only come out at night. They're also known for drinking blood, but don't worry, they usually stick to drinking animal blood. You can usually tell if someone is a vampire because they have really pale skin and pointy teeth, especially their canine teeth. They also wear long black coats to cover up from the sun. There are lots of stories and movies about vampires, and they're always a little bit spooky. Some people believe that garlic can keep vampires away, and that you can defeat a vampire with stakes or fire. It's fun to learn about these legends, but I'm glad vampires aren't real. Let's move on to a more magical creature, shall we? Witches and their magical spells. Get ready for some magic because we're talking about witches. Witches are known for their magical powers. Some people imagine witches wearing pointy hats and riding on broomsticks, and they might even have a black cat as a pet. Witches can do all sorts of cool things with their magic. They can make potions that bubble and change colors, and they can cast spells to make things disappear or appear out of thin air. Some witches are good and use their powers to help people, while others might use their magic for mischief. There are lots of stories about witches, and they're always fun to read. It's fun to imagine what it would be like to have magical powers like a witch, but for now, we'll just have to keep reading stories about them. Let's travel to Ireland to learn about our next spooky creature. The Wailing Banshee. Hold on tight because we're traveling to Ireland to learn about the Banshee. This mystical land is filled with rich folklore and ancient legends that have been passed down through generations. The Banshee is a spirit from Irish folklore, and she's known for her loud wailing screams. These screams are said to be so piercing that they can be heard for miles around. Some people believe that if you hear a banshee scream, it means bad things will happen. This belief has made the banshee one of the most feared spirits in Irish mythology. That's why the banshee is often seen as a harbinger of death. But some people also believe that she's there to guide spirits to the afterlife. This dual role makes her a complex and intriguing figure. There are many different descriptions of what the banshee looks like. Her appearance can vary greatly depending on the story or the region. Some say she's a beautiful woman in a long, flowing dress, often seen wandering the countryside under the light of the moon, while others say she's a terrifying old hag with long, sharp fingernails. This version of the banshee is said to be more menacing and frightening. No matter what she looks like, the banshee's scream is said to be bone-chilling. It's a sound that can send shivers down your spine and make your hair stand on end. It's said that the banshee only appears to certain families, often those with ancient Irish lineage. These families are believed to have a special connection to the spirit world, and her wail is a warning. This eerie cry serves as a premonition of impending doom. Let's hope we don't run into the banshee on our spooky adventure. Her presence is enough to make even the bravest souls tremble. For our last stop, we're going to visit a forest in Germany that's rumored to be haunted. This forest is said to be filled with spirits and eerie sounds that will make your heart race. The haunted Black Forest of Germany. Get ready for our last stop, the Black Forest in Germany. This forest is famous for its tall, dark trees and spooky atmosphere, and it's said to be haunted. People have been telling scary stories about the Black Forest for centuries. Some say that the forest is home to ghosts, witches, and other supernatural creatures. One of the most famous legends of the Black Forest is the story of the Headless Horseman, a ghost who rides through the forest at night carrying his head in his hand. Another spooky tale is about the Earl Koenig, a mischievous spirit who lures people into the forest and never lets them leave. Some people believe that the Black Forest is cursed, and that anyone who enters will be met with misfortune. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying that the Black Forest is a mysterious and eerie place. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a little spooked after learning about all these urban legends. Thanks for joining us on this spooky adventure. We learned about so many cool creatures and legends from all over the world. Which one was your favorite? Leave a comment below. Join us again on Kidstopia. Don't forget to press the thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe and share it with your friends. You can check out our other awesome videos on our channel. Hit that bell so you don't miss the next one. Until then, keep discovering new things every day. Bye!